Uh-oh, folks. Would you look what we have here? Would you look at what we have here? We got Sabrina Ionescu, far left. Look at those back muscles. All right, Sabrina, do your thing. We got Erin Kane. Oh, doing her Stephanie White pose. Oh, wow. Okay. Erin Kane doing the Stephanie White. Nice. We got Brianna Stewart, Stewie, as they call her. And we got Sandy Brondello.
Caitlin Clark recently held a quiet meeting with the New York Liberty, and it could change everything for Indiana. While the Fever were struggling without their star to run the offense, Clark may have been setting in motion a move that would shatter every Indiana fan's hopes. This wasn't about sponsorships or marketing deals. It was about 2028 when her rookie contract ends and how Indiana's front office might have already driven away the brightest star in the WNBA. If you stand with Caitlin, drop a comment below saying, "Free Caitlin, let's ride."
This little scene that took place after the Fever game last night in New York between Sandy Brondello and Caitlin Clark, the New York Liberty, and the agent. The agent. That is what makes this so interesting. That is the key. All right, everybody's concentrating on, yeah, by the way, Caitlin Clark looks unbelievably happy talking to these folks.
Picture this. Center court against New York, and right away, you can tell something's off. The Fever look completely lost. Their sets are broken. Players are just standing still, waiting for someone to take charge. Without Clark commanding the floor, Indiana's offense turns into a scattered mess of individuals unsure of their next move.
And more consistent, and it's just disappointing. I mean, that wasn't us. That's not how we play, and that's not our identity. But I just think, again, it's about us and stacking days. So, I mean, we see them again after All-Star, so we just got to go back to the drawing boards and just, make the adjustments and just be better.
The Liberty didn't just win that night. They broke Indiana down piece by piece. They exposed every flaw. So clearly, you had to wonder how this team ever functioned without Clark. New York shot a red-hot 51.9% from beyond the arc, while Indiana hit just 25%. That's more than a shooting slump. That's what happens when no one can create open looks or collapse a defense. The final score was 98-77, but it didn't show the chaos in Indiana's huddles. It didn't show how fast the Fever unraveled. It was their worst loss of the season, dropping them to 4-6 when Clark isn't in control.
Mitchell, she'll pull up. Here's a three. She's got it! And that's a record! Kelsey Mitchell with 9 threes in a game. It's never been done before.
Mitchell is so cracksy.
Don't dare, Kelsey Mitchell. Smooth as butter. Silky.
Here's Mitchell. Mitchell collects. Mitchell, you bet! And the foul! Mitchell slashes home a three. Sock, step back, launches a three. It's good! Kelsey Mitchell has now hit 607 threes and counting, the most ever for an Indiana Fever.
Kelsey Mitchell gave it everything to keep Indiana's hopes alive. She broke the franchise record for career three-pointers with number 607, knocking down shots and making plays that reminded everyone why she's an all-star talent. Mitchell ended the night with 16 points, but the frustration was written all over her face as she tried to carry an offensive burden never meant for one player. Sophie Cunningham stepped in for Lexi Hull and brought the same fire fans love. She scored 12 points and battled through every possession like her job was on the line. She didn't shy away from contact, never stopped cutting, and never gave up on plays other players might have walked away from. Cunningham kept fighting.
Hey, Kel, just wanted to say congratulations. As always, I'm super proud of you. And yet another record broken. Of course, this is just the beginning. Keep it going. Records are meant to be broken, but if there's anybody that would break it, I'm glad that it's you. So congratulations. I love you. I'm super proud of you. And let's go, Fever. Get that dub.
But even with all that effort, the deeper issue remained. Aliyah Boston, who normally dominates the paint, was held to just 7 points on 1-for-8 shooting. The Liberty swarmed her drives and dared her to pass, knowing there was no Caitlin Clark to make them pay. Boston's struggle made it clear just how much this team needs Clark to function. Ari McDonald tried to fill the point guard spot, but the change didn't spark the team the way they needed. The Liberty came in prepared. They knew Indiana had no identity without Clark running the show. This wasn't just a bad loss, it was a full-blown collapse, and it showed why Clark might be asking herself if this franchise is really capable of building a championship team around her. The Fever looked like a different team without her, and not in a good way.
So talented, had that Mamba mentality at Oregon and brought it here to the WNBA as Sophie Cunningham gets the birdie on Natasha Cloud and hits the three.
This is where Indiana's situation shifts from bad to absolutely disastrous. And it all revolves around how they handled Caitlin Clark's injury. When your franchise cornerstone goes down, how the front office reacts says everything about the organization's values and competence. The Fever's approach to Clark's injury wasn't just flawed. It was so poorly executed that it raised real doubts about their ability to protect their most important player.
Yeah, I thought it started with us just being really soft. They didn't feel us. They're an outstanding offensive team. They're obviously an outstanding defensive team too. And we didn't disrupt at all. They didn't feel us. There was no resistance. We weren't in passing lanes. We let them pass the ball and move wherever they wanted to. So it's outside of just execution of schemes. It's having a little bit more fight and resistance on the defensive.
From medical decisions to miscommunication to confusion over recovery timelines, every part of the process looked unprepared and unprofessional. Fans, analysts, and even rival teams were watching Indiana mishandle the simplest parts of injury care for the single most valuable player in the league.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I hope Indiana Fever fans are taking note, writing things down, following a certain pattern, and this time aren't getting fooled. The Indiana Fever ruled Caitlin Clark out for tonight's game. No surprise to anybody. I saw it, you saw it, your neighbor saw it, Stevie Wonder saw that.
Stephanie White's public comments didn't help. They made things worse. Before one game, she said they were taking Clark's injury one day at a time, the same phrase she used earlier in the season when Clark missed 2.5 weeks. That kind of vague, recycled language only added fuel to speculation. It raised doubts about how transparent the team was being. And the timing? Terrible. Clark's injury became headline news just as the All-Star game approached, when the WNBA needed its biggest star active and visible. But instead of offering clear recovery updates, Indiana kept the public in the dark. This is not how you treat a generational talent whose presence boosts ratings and ticket sales across the league.
Another leg injury. She has a quad, we rush her back, she injures her quad. We rush her back, she injures her groin, we rush her back, we injure her quad. Nice, good job. No way Caitlin Clark was going to play tonight. But the Indiana Fever, they decided to lie again about Caitlin Clark's status. Again. To milk the fans dry for as much as they possibly can. Again.
But injury mismanagement was only part of the problem. The deeper issue, complete disconnect in how the team uses Clark on the court. She thrives in a fast-paced, high-tempo system, pushing the ball, creating opportunities before defenses can react, and using her elite IQ to set up teammates. That's when she's at her best.
The Indiana Fever, you're on notice. You're on notice. You better recognize what you've got going on, the asset in front of you, and you do whatever you have to do to correct what is.
The coaching staff keeps forcing her into a slow, deliberate system that undercuts everything she's good at. They want half-court sets and patient execution, which drains the offensive energy. It's like owning a Ferrari and only driving it in traffic. You're wasting her talent. Clark's passing, vision, and creativity all shine in transition. Slow the game down, and you're not just reducing her scoring year, reducing her impact on every possession. This isn't just about strategy anymore, it's personal. Clark knows what she can do in the right system. She also knows how bad the team looks when they force her into one that doesn't fit. And now, all of it, injury, confusion, coaching mismatches, lack of support is pushing her to consider other options. Indiana didn't just fail her, they may have given her a reason to walk away.
If Stephanie White believes that this team is better with Ari McDonald in, blah, 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 if she shares the same views as Carolyn Peck, you fire her on the spot. I don't care if she is an Indiana Fever alum. You fire her on the spot. And anybody else in the organization that shares that same belief set. I mean, these Stephanie White truthers, no surprise, she checks boxes, and they're the old WNBA fandom that thinks Stephanie White's getting a raw deal right now. It's so obvious she don't know what she's doing. She don't know what she's doing with this kind of talent.
Now we've reached the part that's keeping Indiana fans up at night and giving New York Liberty fans visions of another championship. A photo went viral on social media showing something nobody expected. Caitlin Clark, her agent Aaron Kane, and members of the New York Liberty organization deep in what looked like a very serious discussion.
We got Sabrina, we got the agent, we got Stewie, we got Caitlin Clark looking like I ain't seen her this happy all year. Right here. I ain't seen her. And look at Sandy. Sandy's grinning with her hand on Caitlin's shoulder. I mean,
now we get to the part that has Indiana fans losing sleep and New York fans dreaming about more championship banners. A photo went viral on social media that showed something nobody expected to see. Caitlin Clark, her agent Aaron Kane, and New York Liberty representatives standing together in what looked like a very serious conversation.
And I saw some people say, well, maybe they're talking All-Star game. Why is her agent there? That is the key. All right? That's the key. Her agent's involved? Some representative is involved? That's what you... they're talking strategy. How many strategy conversations have agents involved in them? Seriously.
This wasn't just a casual chat at a league event. This was a calculated, strategic conversation about Clark's future after her rookie contract. The photo captured Clark with Liberty coach Sandy Brondello, alongside All-Stars Breena Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. But here's what made it agent was there. When an agent shows up to talk with another team's coach and stars, it's not just about smiles and selfies. That's business. Kane's presence suggests the talk was more than surface level. It was a blueprint. You don't bring your agent unless your future is on the table.
Caitlin Clark, just magically finding her way in New York one day. She doesn't like how things are going. The Fever continued to just act foolish. They don't realize what they have. I'm telling you, New York will realize what they got. New York will realize what they got with Caitlin Clark. And I know Aaron Kane probably understands that too. She might not be a good agent, but sometimes common sense is that blatant. Where it doesn't matter how bad your agent is. Oh, well, you're in New York, Nike.
The timing says it all about Clark's current mindset. The meeting happened right after Indiana's latest internal disaster and coaching mess. Clark watched her team collapse without her, saw how poorly the front office handled her injury, and then immediately sat down with reps from the most professionally run franchise in the league. The Liberty are everything Indiana isn't when it comes to developing stars. They have a smart front office, elite players like Breena Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, and a deep bench featuring Maureen Johannes and former MVP Jonquil Jones, who's expected back after the All-Star break. Coach Brondello has openly praised Clark and runs a system built to enhance her style. New York plays fast, thrives in chaos, and empowers its best players, everything Clark needs.
Cool. A meet and greet at the Edge. Oh yeah, a lot of opportunities in New York, folks. A lot of opportunities in New York. The fact her agent's back there, I'm not sure if she represents Breena Stewart as well, or Sabrina Ionescu as well. I don't think so. Or Sandy, I don't think so. It's just a nice meet and greet, folks. This is just an innocent lunch, right? Just an innocent, I'm just out having lunch with my girls. Just hanging out, having fun. We're not talking about me coming to New York, no.
The Liberty have the cap space, the winning culture, and most importantly, the organizational structure to build around a once-in-a-generation talent like Clark. Her rookie deal with the Fever runs through 2026, but come 2028, she'll have the power to decide her own future. And this meeting wasn't about if she considered leaving, it was about when. Indiana's chance to repair this relationship is slipping fast. That photo was more than just a headline. It was a message. Clark is planning for life after the Fever. The writing on the wall isn't subtle, anymore it's loud. And while New York quietly prepares the perfect future for her, Indiana keeps making moves that push her further away. This isn't just about win-loss records anymore. It's about competence versus dysfunction.
Here's a better lane. How about a Larry Bird or a Bill Laimbeer as the Indiana Fever president and somebody like Mark Jackson as the coach? All right? Or Larry Bird is president of the Fever, Bill Laimbeer is the coach. I believe the Indiana Fever need a National Basketball Association coach handling this brand. All right? Because it's clear the organization's in way over their head. You saw it from Christine Brennan. They weren't expecting this. She's the biggest sports star in basketball.
New York's roster is proof they know how to build around star talent. With Stewart and Ionescu already in place, Clark would slot perfectly into a high-tempo, high-Q offense focused on ball movement and perimeter shooting. That system would highlight every strength she brings to the court. Meanwhile, Indiana keeps making decisions that suggest they either don't understand what they have or don't know how to use it. Their performance without Clark shows they haven't built the right structure around her, and playing in a system that limits your strengths versus one that unleashes them. That matters especially for a competitor like Clark. She's already missed 10 games this season, and the way the team has handled her injuries has only added fuel to the fire. Coach Stephanie White's unclear statements on her status haven't helped either.
Whatever Clark wants, Clark will get when it comes to New York. Maybe not in Indiana with Kelly and Amber and Stephanie, but in New York, I guarantee you if they were to ask Sandy Brondello that question, the answers might have been different. They would have championed Caitlin Clark without feeling the need to throw everybody else's name in the mix.
The path forward couldn't be clearer. In one version of her future, Clark stays in Indiana and watches her prime years wasted by a dysfunctional franchise. In the other, she heads to New York and becomes the centerpiece of a dynasty. The Liberty's professional front office, championship, mindset, and player-first system make them the obvious choice for long-term success.
The WNBA kept playing with fire. Commissioner's worst nightmare is here. Fever's worst nightmare is here. All those people traveling to Indiana. Caitlin is likely out for the All-Star game. Flagship weekend destroyed at NBA. W needs new leadership.
Private meeting between Clark and the Liberty isn't a rumor anymore, it's reality. It's also a warning shot. Indiana is on the verge of losing the most exciting player in women's basketball because of its own chaos. Erin Kane's presence alongside Sandy Brondello, Breanna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu proves this wasn't just a friendly chat. This was planning. If you support Caitlin Clark, you should be both hyped about her future and seriously concerned about what's happening in Indiana. Should she stay and hope things improve, or walk away and join a team that already knows how to win? Comment, "Free Caitlin," if you know the answer. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what's coming next. **.